Hello and welcome back to the Movie Memo Recaps. Today we are going to recap a 2018 movie titled Final Score. Please be advised that there will be spoilers ahead. In the opening scene, we are introduced to a revolution in Sokovo, a Russian state. Dmitry and Arkady, two brothers, spearheaded this revolution. They instigated a riot in the state of Sokovia with the aim of securing independence from Russia. Dmitry reportedly died when Russia declared war. The Russian government captured Arkady at the same time, effectively ending the revolution in Sokovo. Arkady discovers that Dmitry is still alive 17 years later. It turns out Dmitry pretended to die, had face surgery, and disappeared. Arkady travels to London in search of his brother. Some Arkady's men are pursuing an informant who knows where Dmitry is on a deserted street. The informant continues to flee. Dmitry is unwilling to divulge his location. Let's say they find him and force him to return to Sokovia with his brother. In that scenario, a potentially deadly new revolution could break out. Unfortunately, Arkady's men apprehend the informant and take him to a torture facility. However, the informant remains silent and does not reveal his location to Dmitry. A special American soldier named Michael Knox arrives at the London airport. He moved to London to meet the family of a late friend who had fought in Afghanistan. Danny is the daughter of his late friend. Her mother frequently punishes her for her rebellious behavior. Knox, who has just arrived, apprehends Danny as she sneaks out the window to her best friend's house. Danny immediately extends an invitation to Knox to join her inside the house after they embrace. Knox's arrival serves as an invitation to a football game at West Ham Stadium. When they arrive at the stadium, Danny tells him about her grief over her father's death. Her father was more concerned with state affairs than with his family, which disappointed her. Soon after, Danny's boyfriend texts her, asking her to meet him in the stadium's northwest corner. Danny then requests that Knox buy her some snacks because she is hungry. Meanwhile, Arkady's men enter the stadium by disguising themselves as match officials. Arkady's men break into a room and hack all CCTV camera systems. They assassinate a guard and break into the stadium control room. Arkady's men kill some staff members in the control room to intimidate the other staff members into obeying their orders. The control room also features Police Chief Thompson, who oversees the match. Arkady menaces Thompson with a gun and threatens to kill his family if he refuses his orders. Whether he likes it or not, Thompson eventually obeys the orders. The first thing Arkady does is close all of the stadium's entrances and exits. A computer system automatically closes all stadium doors, preventing spectators inside the stadium from leaving. Moreover, the stadium's cell phone signal transmitters sustain damage. Knox returns to his seat and finds Danny nowhere in sight. He then attempts to call Danny, but the cell phone signal abruptly dies. On the other hand, Knox is unaware of any sabotage inside the stadium. He approaches a member of the stadium staff named Faisal, who is standing guard in the stands near the audience seats and appears to be panicking. He directs Faisal to search for CCTV footage of Danny. Faisal then contacts the control room to locate the missing person, but the security officers do not respond. Knox forces Faisal to take him to the control room on the top side of the stadium. Faisal reluctantly agrees. They are about to enter the elevator when Arkady's men, disguised as guards, stop them. Since Knox insists on going to the control room, Arkady's henchman, Andrei, lets them into the elevator. Andrei's expression changes as he enters the elevator. He moves to attack the two of them. There is quite a fight in the elevator until Knox starts choking Andrei. Knox directs Faisal to retrieve a gun from the elevator floor and fire at Andrei's head. Finally, Andrei is murdered, and his body is dragged into the toilet. They discover explosives in the bag. They both understand that a bombing during a football match poses a threat to the stadium. Knox contacts the police chief outside the stadium using Faisal's walkie-talkie. He alerts the police chief about a potential sabotage incident at the stadium. The police commander does not immediately believe Knox's complaint. The police commander contacts Thompson. Regrettably, Arkady, who is holding Thompson hostage, deceives him by claiming the stadium is safe. Arkady's men are looking for Dmitry, who is allegedly in the row of spectators watching the game in another corner of the stadium. While the rest of Arkady's men are busy installing bombs in the stadium's corners, Dmitry's men continue to screen the audience's faces through the computer screens he had hacked. Soon after, in the control room, Arkady receives a complaint from his female subordinate, Tatiana, who informs him about Andrei's disappearance. Finally, two of Arkady's men search for Andrei and discover his body in the toilet. Knowing that one of his men is dead, Arkady dispatches two other men, Vlad and Anton, to find the person responsible for Andrei's death. Knox is well aware that Arkady's men will soon pursue him, so he tells Faisal to sprint and look for Danny in the row of audience seats. Faisal escapes through the stadium kitchen's tiny elevator ventilation gap. Meanwhile, Knox remains in the kitchen, confronted by Flad and Antone. They engage in a fierce battle. Not long after, Knox has the potential to kill Antone, but Flad's strength hinders him. Knox becomes engrossed in the action as the fight continues. Fortunately, his battlefield experience equips him with an effective strategy for defeating opponents, particularly when time is crucial. Finally, he successfully removes Flad by submerging him in boiling water. Tatiana, Flad's girlfriend, enters the kitchen to inspect the situation. She is furious when she discovers that her boyfriend has died with a charred face. Meanwhile, Knox makes his way out of the kitchen with Antone's body. He throws Antone's body out of the stadium, alerting the police stationed outside to the dangerous situation inside. When the police spotted a body thrown from the stadium's roof, they realized the situation was serious. Arcady and his men go to the TV broadcast room, where several TV crews show the ongoing match. The local television station broadcasts live footage of the shooting. Arcady asks one of the reporters to read his message over a TV broadcast, which includes a threat to blow up the stadium if police try to enter. The British government receives the message and relays it to the Russian government for the purpose of locating Dmitry before the match ends. Arcady kills 2 reporters after they read the message. A TV station captures the shooting, triggering panic among London residents and Danny's mother, who is watching the match on TV. Through CCTV footage, one of Arcady's men can determine who is responsible for the attack on their men. He knows Knox's true identity, and CCTV footage reveals that Knox arrived at the stadium with a girl named Danny. Danny's identity appears on the screen due to the computer's connection to the police database. We see Danny walking near the field, while Knox attempts to pursue her. Undoubtedly, the police officers, on duty in the field, thwart Knox's attempts to pursue her. Fortunately, Faisal can seize Danny and whisk her away to meet Knox in the stadium's back room. Once Knox locates them, the 3 embark on an attempt to locate the hidden bombs. Knox summons the police chief outside and informs him that the bomb is difficult to defuse unless Arcady presses the defuse button. The only way he could take Arcady's bomb disposal button is to tell him where Dmitry is in the row of spectators. Dmitry is watching the game at the east end of the stands, according to the police chief. Knox plans to approach Dmitry in the audience. He tells Faisal to hide with Danny in another corner of the stadium, and they part ways. Arcady's men attempt to block Knox's path to the stands. He can defy Arcady's men by riding a police motorcycle. He makes it to the east stand and meets with Dmitry. As Arcady converses with Dmitry, he spots his brother's location on CCTV. Meanwhile, Tatiana discovers where Danny and Faisal are hiding. She then paralyzes Faisal and kidnaps Danny. On the other side of the stadium, Knox is seen bringing Dmitry to the stadium's roof, even though his struggle is difficult because Arcady's men keep approaching and attacking him. Knox proposes a hostage swap between Danny and Dmitry above the stadium. But instead of returning to Sokovia with his brother and restarting the revolution, Dmitry asks Knox to kill him. Dmitry decided that continuing his revolutionary movement would only make his people unhappy. In summary, the hostage exchange persists above the stadium, with the police helicopter also present. Danny requests the exchange after all of the spectators have left the stadium. Even if the exchange had occurred, she knew the bomb would still detonate. Knox asks Danny to walk, and they immediately engage in conversation. When Danny walks to the center, it turns out that she sees not Dmitry but Knox, disguised in Dmitry's clothes, approaching her. Danny then runs to Dmitry and they flee the stadium stands. The cops assist by shooting Arcady's men from the helicopter. When Knox immobilizes Arcady and retrieves his bomb disposal button, a fierce battle ensues. Tatiana relentlessly attacks Knox, forcing him to cling to his bomb disposal button for survival. When he lands in the other stands, Tatiana appears behind him and starts attacking him with a knife. They engage in combat until they lose control of the stands. When Tatiana falls, the iron traps her body. Before she passed away, she stated that the bomb disposal did not work, as the bomb continued to detonate until the game reached the 90th minute. The control room reports that one of Arcady's men has apprehended Dmitry and Danny. Dmitry provides an explanation for his decision to fake his death and disappear from the scene. His goal was to rescue Arcady, who was on the verge of execution. He grabs a gun from the table and shoots himself in an attempt to save his brother and put an end to the war. Arcady is so shocked and irritated by this unexpected incident that he fires his gun at the men who had brought Dmitry to him. Knox approaches Faisal in one corner of the field and asks him to inform the audience to leave their seats. However, when Faisal announces that he is carrying a bomb, the audience quickly disperses. Later, Knox is on the field and sees Danny, who who is in the control room, watching Arcady's broadcast. He makes every effort to run toward the control room. Regrettably, as the match nears the 90th minute, a loud explosion erupts in the control room. Knox feels guilty for not being able to care for Danny. However, he holds the belief that the control room failed to capture the footage on the stadium screen just before the explosion. He dashes into the middle of the field, which appears chaotic due to the number of people running. He observed that Arcady was aiming a gun at Danny's throat. Danny escaped by stomping her head against Arcady, with Knox advising her to do so. Knox then shoots Arcady, killing him. Knox, the main character with no involvement in Russia's revolution, successfully quelled the revolutionary movement, saving the people of Sokovian from living in misery. Thank you for watching. If you're new, don't forget to subscribe for more recaps. Until next time, have a nice day.